So good to see highlights of Manchester's win last time out over London Helvetia, and they'll be looking to back that up today with what they'll expect and will hope to be a routine win, but Wessex will have other ideas.
They will, yeah. I mean, for Wessex, it's a chance, yet again, just to find their feet in this league, isn't it? Manchester, you would hope, and they will hope as well, with a full-strength 12 out for the first time. A few question marks over Jeff Dubefort's involvement, but a full-strength 12 for the first time, you would hope that they can build on what they did in a really, really good game at David Ross a few weeks ago.
So the team's making their way out onto the court then at St George's Park. It's game 3 of 4, Manchester in the blue and Wessex in the red and white. Let's take a look at how the two teams line up, starting with Manchester. They are the favourites for this game. They have Kai Bone between the sticks in goal, Jordan Edge, Harry Tozer, Scott Thompson and Uriel Araujo as their starting lineup. The substitute keeper is Jans Krumens, and the rest of the subs are Danny Stapleton, Jake Barnes, Jeff Dubefor, Raul Radulescu, the player coach Sam Richardson and Reducio King. For Wessex then, they have goalkeeper Ben O'Hanlon, the captain Terry New, Max Jenkins, Jordan Matthews and Matt Hindle. The substitutes are Charlie Budd, Tom McGarrell, Harris Bazida, Aaron Reid, joined from Kent United in the summer, Guy Baradas, Jack Doncombe and George Ramsey. They're coached by Jeff Bonner. As we say, Matt, a difficult task today for Wessex. It's been a difficult start to the season for them. But what can they do to try to hurt this Manchester team today?
I think they've got to play with confidence. They've got to realise that every game's a new game. They've got to go out there with a game plan. They've got to realise that they've got players, the likes of Jordan Matthews, who you see there, the number 7 on screen, who can hurt Manchester. They can get him on the ball in the right areas. He's somebody who could really take the game to the opponents and could hopefully get them into it. What they need to do is, when things go against them, they need to just galvanise themselves. They need to rally together and not drop off too much, because otherwise this could quickly become a very painful one for them against one of the most experienced and formidable sides in this division.
Yeah, Wessex last time out were on the wrong side of a 5-1 defeat to Hartpury. We saw highlights of Manchester's win against their only champions but strugglers so far this season, London Helvetia.
Yeah, bizarre just watching those highlights back then, that in the last 2 games we've seen Helvetia not been able to convert chances, something that's been their staple, hasn't it? Give full credit to Manchester, who've taken full advantage of it in that last game. Depleted numbers as well. They were missing Kai Bone, missing Miles Chadwick, who's still not available. Jans Krumens, I mean, he'll feel really harshly done by not to be in the starting lineup after that performance. Only joking, he knows his role. He's the third choice keeper and he'll take his place back on the bench, like I know my role. Have to step back down from number 1 commentator because you're back, Isaac.
Oh, too kind, Matt. You're expert tactical analysis alongside me, Isaac Barrington, in the commentary box, and we're enjoying ourselves with the action from St George's Park. Already seen 2 games, this is the 3rd, and then up later we'll have Loughborough Students and Bolton facing off to close the day's action. Tozer takes the kick off then, and we're underway. Manchester get us started in their royal blue. Kicking from left to right in the first half, Manchester. Cross-court pass, looking to work an avenue down the line. Uriel Araujo held up, kicking.
Just for a moment there, it started to open up, didn't it? And look very easy for Manchester. So Wessex need to just make sure that they tighten up, need to make sure they defend properly first of all.
Araujo for Scott Thompson, who was lurking in a good area. It breaks back here for Tozer. Early possession is Manchester's, as we would have expected pre-match.
The difficulty Wessex have found so far is this starting 4 here is quite an experienced one. It's one that's played at the top level before. They've played games together for a long time, and they will match teams. It's when they're tired and when they need to go to some of their younger, less experienced players that they've found problems. So it's about utilising this 4 in particular at the right times, getting them playing in the right areas, not making mistakes like that from Jordan Matthews, completely unforced.
Yeah, and important for Wessex then with this strong starting lineup that they start the game positively on the front foot and try to get the game's first goal, which of course could set us away for what we see later on in the game, but still very early stages, of course. We're just a minute played and Manchester have a corner.
We know, we've seen so often how well drilled they are from these.
Set back for the strike from Jordan Edge, the number 9 for Manchester. It will be a corner from the far side, signalled by the referee over there, Paul Waitley. He's joined by Will Thompson as the match officials for today's game. Carl Jones is on timekeeping duty on the desk. Rauho, that was quickly closed down.
He's been a really good addition, hasn't he? Manchester bringing him back from Helvetia. Uriel Araujo, real good addition to this side. And
here's Tozer towards the second post and very nearly on the end of it there, Araujo.
Yeah, almost on cue. But yeah, he adds a real quality to them. As I touched on earlier, we've played them at Derby in the NFS Super Cup earlier this season, and 1v1, so talented and really hard to play against. You can see what he wants to do, stopping him. Completely different.
Yeah, and there's plenty of quality across the whole of the Manchester squad that Wessex will have to contend with and try to thwart as the game goes on. Tozer up to Edge. Back now to Araujo. Lofted pass again, looking for the Manchester number 7, but it evades him inside of play.
Interesting start. Wessex not sitting off, are they? Looking to go and press, looking to go and keep Manchester honest. At times, when you're in the position they're in, you can be guilty of dropping off and trying to almost conserve anything. Very much look like they're going to be prepared to try and play, try and get something from it. Sticking to their principles, very attack-minded side when you play them in Tier 2. And I think that's important. By hook or by crook, it's a very similar side to what they got promoted with, not made any wholesale changes. You stick to your principles, you're going to learn from it more in the long term.
Edge with the ball inside the centre circle. Araujo now finding himself wide right, cutting inside onto his left. Edge again. Over to Thompson, back to Edge. It deflects wide, and it was a important intervention rather, from Max Jenkins, who positioned himself well in front of goal.
I think you'll be disappointed that he's had to get to that. There was 3 or 4 times there where Wessex just needed to take a little bit more control defensively. Good goalkeeping. Ben O'Hanlon, an alert, clever pass from Edge. But yeah, they've just got to be a little bit more alert and a little bit more full, like on the front foot defensively, and willing to put pressure on a little bit higher up the court. It was all too easy for Manchester to find their way into the Wessex area.
Except for the strike for Tozer. That's a good stop, split save from O'Hanlon.
Yeah, he's going to be busy. Ben O'Hanlon, really experienced goalkeeper. So far, when called upon, he's made a couple of really good stops. Here we go again.
There is the game's opener. It's Jordan Edge who fires in from the set piece. Well, they've had a flurry of corners and now they make one count. Inside the first 3 minutes, it's 1-0.
And slight deflection, wasn't it, off Jordan Matthews. Not quite there quick enough. And he guides it past his goalkeeper as we take a look again. Just that deflection there, just finds its way past O'Hanlon. It's well worked from Manchester. A couple of really good set pieces. Jordan Edge will be pleased with that one.
Yeah, unfortunate perhaps for Wessex with the nick on the way through that took it past the goalkeeper and into the corner, but 1-0 and they're streaming forward here with a 2-1 chance. Tozer goes alone, it's touched wide. Really
good save, and they'll just pull it back because I think Araujo went down in a heap, quite hurt, to be honest. Not like he should come off in the challenge, but real powerful run by Tozer. Good defending from Jenkins because he cut one half of the court off, made Tozer's mind up for him. He had to strike at goal and O'Hanlon was more of a match for it. Just a pause while Araujo gets some treatment.
Yeah, we'll resume with the set piece for Manchester. Scored from the corner from the left. Here's one from the right. This one's lofted for a volley to goal by Araujo, but didn't catch that one sweetly.
So I'm sure off camera outside, he's walking back feeling that injury again after a miss hit like that. But well worked again. Really well drilled from set pieces. Sam Richardson has his team really well organised.
Well, that's a nice long parallel pass, and it's set back here, and New picks it up again. This is a chance for Wessex to equalise, and it's a save by Bone, who's called upon for the first time, really.
Yeah, really good move. Well done. Matt Hindle in a really good position. Could have found something.
Cross-court pass from Thompson to Araujo. Big challenge, good tackle.
Just the move just before that chance for Hindle. Could Max Jenkins have been a little bit more positive when he played back out to Terry New?
Long ball forward there to New, who found himself in a position in very close proximity to the goal.
This is what I'm saying. This four has ability. This four can go and compete at this level. It's when they tire. It's when they have to make changes.
Thompson, maybe just a chance here for Manchester to double their lead. It's Edge. Just held up slightly. Those four now back defending, but it's to the second post. Wessex may be caught in a flat line there. We might see it on the replay, but it's turned in at the back stick, and that's 2-0.
Manchester moving the ball around really, really well. And yeah, as you say, Isaac, all three players drawn to the ball, all four players almost in a line like a flat back four. No offsides in futsal. That didn't matter, and Scott Thompson found himself with the freedom of St George's Park to tap home at that second post. Just like that, it's 2-0. And despite some good moments, this game already in danger of getting away from Wessex.
Yeah, and it could get even worse for them here. A 3v2 chance, but Thompson opted to go alone with Tozer to the right and Stapleton on his left. There's the assist and the finish from Thompson.
How many times you see Scott Thompson popping up in that sort of area, scores crucial goals for this Manchester team. And you can see they're in the mood already, can't you? You can see how they're approaching this one. No danger of them dropping off.
Yeah, it certainly looks like they're well up for this, Manchester, and want the game done and dusted as soon as they possibly can have it. 5 goals this season now for Scott Thompson.
Pressure, Harry Tozer forcing Matthews backwards. Okay, it's not where they want Jordan Matthews to play. Interesting, this was a tactic we saw from Wessex in the last round of fixtures, looking to change their goalkeeper and utilise this fly option. Charlie Budd is a goalkeeper, but will play as a fly when he comes in. It's a way of trying to drive their opponents down the court. Didn't quite work for them in Nottingham.
Here's Stapleton. Thompson feeds the pass left. Nice footwork from King. Back out there on court for Manchester, Reducio King after an injury layoff.
Yeah, really real mainstay of the squad for a number of years, and then being away, does struggle with injuries, but a really talented pivot. For a long time, one of the best pivots.
Long ball forward and very nearly a goal back for Wessex there on the end of the pass as Matthews. Good stop by Bone.
Really good stop when called upon, Kai Bone, reminding us why he's their number one. Jens Crimmins, I'm sure, if he didn't make these saves, would be breathing down his neck after that performance last time out. But he's a really talented goalkeeper. Kai Bone.
King had Barnes ahead of him with the goalkeeper out of position. The net was left free. Back now though is Charlie Budd. Barnes wins the kick and takes it quickly back to Stapleton and across to the near side with Thompson. Well timed tackle by New.
Another look at that opportunity. First time they've got Matthews into that sort of area.
Into King with his back to goal. Holding off the pressure from the defender, sets it back.
They really have missed Connor Miller. Wessex. Oh, it's a brilliant turn.
Well, that's good from Stapleton. He was just caught on the way through there, and no real opportunity for an advantage as Stapleton's walking gingerly.
Yeah, just a wrap across the ankles, I think, wasn't it? Really good move to wriggle free. It's a good opportunity. Couple of hammers over the top of this one. King possesses a strike. Stapleton also. I'll tell you what, Jake Barnes is in a hot goal. He's in hot goal scoring form as well.
Yeah, he comes across to Barnes there, and then back for Stapleton, and the save's made by O'Hanlon. Free kick there goes against Manchester. 2-1 on the fouls. Still inside the first 7 minutes.
Just, yeah, going back to the point I started to make just before that free kick. Wessex have really missed Connor Miller. And we can see why, because a player of that quality. Terry New just needs to be careful here. There's a couple of challenges he's got himself involved in. A little bit heavy, this one. It's clumsy, isn't it? Thompson does really well to win it.
Yeah, always a very tenacious defender, Terry New. Looking to try to win the ball back, but a bit over-eager there, and the yellow card subsequently shown to him as well.
It's probably a situation where referee Will Thompson's gone in, wanted to speak to him, wanting to listen to what he's got to say. Perhaps feels the yellow card after that is the right thing to do.
It's definitely a late and clumsy challenge.
Yeah, he's never winning the ball, is he, in that situation?
Stapleton. Here's Richardson, the player coach for Manchester. Barnes now with number 6. Stapleton skips past New that time, and coming across to clear up and cover. Round there was Aaron Reid.
It's good to see Reid still playing at this level. Probably one of Kent's real star performers last year.
Here he is in possession, looking to try to kick-start the counter-attack for Wessex, although that moment's gone. Still in possession. King making a nuisance of himself, but in doing so just to have fouled New.
And King will do that. He'll get himself into those situations. A really strong physical pivot. Bundle of tricks as well. Loves having the ball at his feet.
Lay back there didn't quite come off as Guy Baradas tried to feed the ball to a teammate. Important intervention by Richardson.
So far so good for Manchester, isn't it? I'll be happy with the start. Firmly in control. Got their 2 goals, and now can really try and utilise their really big players and see what they can do to build on this.
Barnes forward here to Edge. Got the game's first goal, Jordan Edge. King toying with the Wessex defence again. Edge to Richardson, working the ball around, trying to be patient and wait for the shooting chance, but then King was dispossessed. It comes straight back though, and Manchester with the ball again. Struggling to find flurries forward and attacks into the Manchester half at the moment, Wessex.
Yeah, just a little bit lost defensively as well at the moment. not quite sure whether to press, not quite sure whether to sit. It's allowing Manchester the freedom to go and play.
That's nice, and would have been a superb goal had it found Barnes at the back post and then been turned home, but gratefully gathered by O'Hanlon.
It's either greedy from Jordan Edge or poor execution. I'll let him pick when he watches this back later on. But really good move. It's very, very easy and simple though, isn't it? Wessex sat off, allowing Manchester to play. When you defend like that, you just become an obstacle rather than a defender. And good teams like this, experienced teams, will play around you. So important to engage, when not just pressing for pressing's sake. Go and engage, go and get involved in the game. A little bit like this, that's better from them.
Yeah, Wessex looking to step on there, but Manchester break free of that initial pressure. The ricochet then takes it through to the goalkeeper, but trying to be more adventurous in the way that they're defending there, Wessex.
Definitely, but the importance then is that all of them do it. So straight away that broke down because Baradas didn't. He didn't go and press.
2v1 here as it's fed across to Tozer. Tozer tried to dink it over the goalkeeper. In the end, it didn't matter because Jordan Edge is on hand. That's number 3. Tozer the provider, Edge the scorer again. He has a brace. It's 3-0.
It's a really good stop, the first one. O'Hanlon will feel desperately unlucky, but Tozer keeps the move alive, finds it back into that area, and Jordan Edge is following up after his pass. Finds himself in space to just guide it home. Simple one. He won't score many easier. And Manchester 3-0 in front.
Takes Jordan Edge on to 5 for the season as well. And a big goal scoring asset to this Manchester team.
He is, isn't he? He's a really talented player as well. Someone who's developed through that club. Real heartbeat of the club is that academy, and players like Edge, Scott Thompson, Harry Tozer, been around for a while. He just epitomises everything they want to be about, doesn't he? As does this man. Player, manager, captain, you name it. Sam Richardson, he is it.
Yeah, he seems to do everything, doesn't he, Sam Richardson? Finding himself high up the court there as he was on the end of the long diagonal, but nothing coming off the follow-up passage of play. Richardson there with the touch to take it out for Wessex's kicking.
Surely, there's got to be some sort of club fine for a manager naming himself as captain. Surely.
Long ball forward there to New, and Tozer maybe took it away from Bone, who was disappointed that he wasn't there to gather, but no chance he's taken from Tozer. Probably the wise decision and thing to do to put it out for the corner and then just reset.
Good defending, decisive defending. Polar opposite of what we've seen at times. Oh, I tell you what, that was close, wasn't it, from Jenkins?
Yeah, just a whistle wide of that far post there, Max Jenkins.
It's a well-worked set piece. Baradas, perfectly weighted pass. Jenkins hit it, and there you see. Kai Bones scampering just for a split second, didn't it?
Yeah, we're only inches wide of that far post. Wessex looking for a goal back to change the course of the game at the moment. Kicking from the right, could their route to goal come from a set play? Not that time.
Good idea. Not quite got the execution, but he'll be their main threat. Jordan Matthews, keep talking about him. They need to get him into these sorts of areas and get him on the ball.
It's nice to break free of the initial pressure for Manchester.
Again, Wessex guilty of 2 going and pressing, 2 sitting off there.
Now there may be a 2v1, but that's superb defending by Edge, who cut off the pass.
Just need to make sure they're organised, Wessex, and when they do go and press and when they do go and step on, all 4 go, because if 2 sit off and 2 go, it does leave gaps.
Fly goalkeeper again here for Wessex, with Bud back on. In possession, looking for the diagonal, net's free. If Araujo wants to try for it, and does, and News back there to slide away.
can't believe they made that goalkeeping sub there. Manchester have the kick in and we're looking to get it started quickly. Very confident in the end. Manchester thought better of it and reset, but
Araujo.
poor pass from Radulescu. Thompson had to surrender possession.
Wessex ball kicking from the right. Just over 7.5 minutes to go until the interval. There's Araujo there applying the pressure on New, trying to nip in and win the ball back, but just ricocheting off him and out of play.
Yeah, really good defending from Araujo, just to make sure there was no options, no way out for Terry New.
Budd was passed down the line back to Charlie Budd. With the ball at his feet again. Not quite the execution on the pass he wanted there, though. It was a sloppy one.
Got to be better, haven't they, in those situations? Got to maintain possession, got to utilise that 5v4 advantage more. Good challenge from Matthews. Thought just for a split second Araujo had got away. Timed it well. Really good block in the middle there from Radulescu, just to open up that shooting opportunity for Harry Tozer.
Final touch came off Wessex's number 99, George Ramsey. Araujo, plenty of power behind it.
Again, well worked set piece. He'd be disappointed not to hit the target. Certainly has it in his locker to find the goal from that sort of range.
Header clear from Thompson. Thompson scoops a high pass forward. It's allowed to run all the way through by Newt.
Game just gone a little bit flat, hasn't it? Manchester in control. Wessex still really trying to find their feet in this season as much as anything.
Araujo skips past the first defender, but then runs into trouble, and the final touch came back off Uriel Araujo. Ramsey.
Loose one.
Yeah, it all came from the pass. It was a loose pass, which then led to the loose touch, and Thompson likewise dispossessed, but then Manchester have it back. Determination to feed the ball through. Thompson, shooting opportunity again. Well, not dissimilar to the chance that we saw down the other end for Wessex. That one, again, just whistling past the far post.
As it opened up here, as he left his foot, just for a split second, expected it to nestle in that top corner. O'Hanlon wasn't sure, was he? Had to get across and cover it. In the end, it whistles wide. Good effort from Scott Thompson.
Hindle. Matthews. Looping pass, but didn't find anyone to make advantage of any attack, and that's kind of been the story of the game so far, as well as their defensive difficulties for Wessex, that they haven't been able to probe the Manchester defence as much at all as they would like to.
That's it, yeah, it's decision making, isn't it? And it's fine margins, but in that final third there's just not enough quality from them. not getting the players in the right sort of areas, those key players, the likes of Jordan Matthews. Here's one chance for them. What can they work here?
Yeah, Matthews had the ball in a promising position. He was forced back. Looking for Matthews again, but Manchester position themselves well defensively once more, and again regain control.
Yeah, it's good defensive positioning from Manchester, but then equally at the same time, Wessex just have to secure that ball and realise that in that situation, Jordan Matthews no need to force it. Between him and Matt Hindle, I think it was, just recycle that ball, bring it back round if necessary, keep possession for a while, play your way in, find your feet.
Barnes lays that one back to Richardson. Stapleton. Oh, great pass across the court from left to right to Barnes. Held up by Matthews. Again, just shifting the angles and waiting for the shooting opportunity.
Oh.
King gets it, breaks back for Stapleton. There's a couple of big blocks in there. King, as Manchester desperately tries to bundle it in. King!
Somehow, Wessex get away with that one. They can smile about it. They're 3-0 up. As it breaks here, Reducio King turns on it. I think he should set this back. Whoever the back player was asking for the ball with quite a lot of space.
Yeah, Danny Stapleton wanted it back to him, but King opting to shoot himself. There's the Wessex side, and Jeff Bonham with the big tactics board, and might need to put it to use because there's problems to solve at the moment.
But they can't say that they can't see that, can they? It's a huge board, that is. Just need a trailer to carry that one round, but he just needs his team to work on a few things defensively. They've got to just tighten up. Got to decide if they're going to press or sit off, because at the moment you've at times on court they've got two players going and doing one thing, two doing another, and then when they've got it, just be a little bit more patient. Jordan Matthews playing a lot of minutes. They're going to have to think about how they can serve him at some stage, because they're going to need him throughout the game.
Yeah, back to the action then. And we'll restart from the Wessex goalkeeper. Manchester here again just dropping deep, half court, allowing Wessex the possession in their own half. Making it difficult, definitely, to say the least, for them to unlock the defence, and they haven't been successful in doing so yet. Manchester, on the other hand, definitely have. King goes back there to Barnes.
King not sure about that one. I think referee Will Thompson made the right call, didn't he? Great pressure from Barnes. As soon as Charlie Budd took one too many touches, Barnes was in. He can completely cut one side of the court off to the goalkeeper. And again, that's the tactic Manchester are looking to utilise.
Yeah, goalkeeper's hyped the course again. It's a bit of a scramble though, might be a chance on the follow-up from that, with New waiting towards the back post, and well, it wasn't particularly controlled with the 5v4 attack, but they worked the chance from it in the end, and that's about as close as they've come in the game so far, Wessex.
Yeah, good defending in the end from Reducio King, wasn't it? Smelt the danger, got in quickly. Was happy to concede the set piece, but as you say, no control over the 5v4. There was no routine, there was nothing set about it, was there? Very scruffy. But
Stapleton, that's a great 1v1. Stapleton again. He's deflected behind by Matthews.
it's good defending. Jordan Matthews stood his ground, controlled the middle of the court, made Danny Stapleton make a decision. He's either got to go and beat him or he's got to take the shot. Opted for the latter. Matthews stood tall.
Barnes.
This one's flown by, hasn't it? 3 minutes left in this half.
Yeah, it's been a quick first half, to say the least, as Manchester look to find themselves a fourth goal before the break, before the half's up. Bone happy to go short to Barnes, and Manchester play their way out easily again. Stapleton opted for the toe poke shot to goal.
He'll be frustrated with himself there where it opens up. Should be hitting the target at the very least. Player of his quality.
Matthews. Cleaned up again by Richardson. Well, that's a loose pass though, and Matthews is on the end of it and trying to improvise with the ball bouncing around off his knees somewhat, and then the effort to goal not too far away.
He does really well, doesn't he? Pressure on that pass. Nips in to win it.
Almost juggled the ball a couple of times as he kept control of it. Had to improvise, but did well.
Sloppy one from Sam Richardson, and in the end Matthews quite unlucky. Just never quite came under his spell, did it? That's better from Stapleton.
Barnes still in amongst it. Will be a corner. Slammed clear, long down court. There's been a couple of saves for Kybone, sporadically across the half, but really Wessex haven't looked a goal threat to the Manchester's half of the court, never mind the final third. King. Moving away there to Matthews though, and this might be a chance for them, but again just lacking that final ball to create the chance.
Just fine margins, isn't it? It's decisions in key moments. Just letting Wessex down at the moment.
King, nice layoff to Richardson. 3v2 for Manchester. Barnes might go alone, did go alone, breaks back for Richardson. It's a good double stop by the keeper.
Really good double save. Barnes in a real hot streak, goal scoring form. Back him to score once he got into that situation. Hanlon made a smart stop and then was up quickly to deny Richardson via that deflection as well.
Yeah, there were a couple of saves in there. It was all very crowded inside the penalty area, but Richardson with the follow-up effort. Ben O'Hanlon going to retrieve the ball and restart play with the goal clearance inside the final 90 seconds of the first half now.
Great pressure.
King, he's robbed the defender of possession. King with a high boot there. Yeah, just raised his foot high in the air, and that'll be an indirect free kick.
Yeah, safety first in those situations, isn't it? No intent.
Reed latches onto the end of a loose ball.
That probably sums up Wessex's season so far, that there where Baradas finds that pass out to Reed, tries to come inside, something we've seen him do time and time again.
Wessex there looking to lock on to Manchester right up in their defensive corner. Bones here made a run forward.
Remember he's won last year.
Who could possibly forget?
He can't. I'll tell you about it if you ever see him.
Interception made for Wessex as they look desperately to try to get a goal back before half-time to give them something to cling on in terms of hope moving into the second half, but maybe Manchester can go down the other way and inflict even further pain. Oh, maybe another chance here though for Wessex. Bone scrambling around on the floor and gratefully gathers.
Yeah, doing his day job. Great save, and straight away Manchester in at the other end, weren't they? And Jake Barnes immediately apologises, should find that pass. He will field to Araujo.
Yeah, well, a sense of urgency perhaps just entering the equation for the two teams as we close in on half-time. Both looking for that extra goal, and they might get it here through Araujo, but not with an effort like that, they won't.
He's not found his range yet, has he? From those sorts of positions, a couple have gone high and wide.
Yeah, just completely cut beneath that ball. Good challenge, but they'll have to be quick about it. 8 seconds, Wessex. Good challenge again, this time by Barnes.
Okay, this is a good area for them. What can they work? Can they get a strike away?
It is set for the shot for Matthews. 3 seconds on the counter-attack. He's going to have to shoot. Oh, and it's turned in on the rebound, but that won't count with the buzzer having already gone. Yeah, well, Scott Thompson's effort would have counted had that not been saved by the goalkeeper, but no questions really about the non-award of that follow-up strike from Richardson. That's 3-0 at half-time, but for a second it could have been 4. There's the half-time score. Manchester 3, Wessex 0. Let's then take a look at the main points from that first half. Here's the highlights.
It started really brightly, didn't it? This corner into Jordan Edge, and there you go. Deflection off Jordan Matthews, takes it past Ben O'Hanlon. It was very, very simple for Manchester, but they showed their quality with a couple of well-worked set pieces. This one, again, very easy, no pressure on the ball. And Harry Tozer is able to find that sort of cross shot to that second post. Scott Thompson, as Scott Thompson does time and time again, is on hand just to roll it home. He won't score many easier.
Yeah, simple tapping for him there at the back post.
But that was it. That was it for Manchester. That was the breakthrough. That was what they needed. This one, O'Hanlon unlucky, bounces straight back to Harry Tozer. He had the awareness and the composure to find that pass back into the middle. And then one thing you would say if you were Wessex, you'd be desperately disappointed that those 3 players around Jordan Edge allow him the time to just find that shot away. It's an easy one for him once it comes to him, but with 3 players around him, somebody's got to take charge of that situation and defend that properly. Wessex, probably the architects of their own downfall at times. They can thank their goalkeeper for a number of good saves. As we look at a couple of them, keeping this score down.
Yeah, O'Hanlon, who's been playing as the goalkeeper in possession, when Manchester in possession, I should say, and then Charlie Budd coming on as the fly goalkeeper. O'Hanlon making plenty of saves in that first half. That one there, Blaze Height, up and over his bar.
This one likewise, that had him scampering, didn't it? Really good effort from Scott Thompson. Then again, keeper more than alert, and this is the one, isn't it? Kinky should lay that back. This chance here, good block from Jordan Matthews, as we said at the time, a little bit better defensively. This is a prime example of them having 2 or 3 players press in rather than just the 2. Matthews able to skip in and get hold of it. Again, O'Hanlon was on hand when they did get caught out. But it's been very, very simple at times for Manchester to pick Wessex off and be able to create chances.
Yeah, there was another save made by O'Hanlon as well, but 3 have gone past him. There's the half-time score. Manchester 3, Wessex 0. Welcome back then for the second half of this one. It's going 3 of 4 in the men's Tier 1 of the FA National Futsal Series, and so far so good for Manchester. 3 goals to the good at half-time against Wessex, Matt.
Yeah, really good performance from them, wasn't it? Controlled, measured. They'll be really happy with the way they've approached the game and comfortable with that 3-0 lead. Wessex, equally though, will be pleased. There's a lot of improvements from recent weeks for them. Just need to find a way to stay in this game now and try and get a foothold if they can, without leaving too many opportunities for Manchester.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we saw to the back end of the last game with York how close they came to a potential comeback and how quickly things can change. So, you know, they're by far from out of this, Wessex, but they just need to play much better in the second half, to put it brutally, than they did in the first.
That's it, yeah, and it's about them finding their feet at this level still. And at times when what you will find is when you're up against it, you're in that sort of 8th place within the league, and you are struggling. These games can quite quickly go against you because of a real. They know that they're in the game at this stage at 3-0, and they know that they could quite quickly. They've had the odd opportunity. They know they could turn it round, and they start to rush things, and then Manchester will pick them off at will because they are a quality side who will wait and take their chances.
Kicking taken there back to Terry New. This is Bud. Nice forward pass there, actually, to pick out the teammate high up the court towards the left corner. It will be a set piece for Wessex.
Yeah, Jenkins in a really good position, wasn't he? And Bud found that pass. Wasteful. As is that poor pass. A couple of really poor passes there. Chance goes. That's what they can't afford to do. Have to take advantage of those sorts of situations.
Tozer across to Barnes. Now this is Edge. Edge featured across to Thompson to his right. The opportunity came about with the space in front of him, but nothing coming from that time for Manchester.
No, it was good defending in the end, wasn't it? Secured it. Quite happy to deal with that situation, but they are architects of their own downfall.
Yeah, and again there, Wessex, they've given the ball away to Thompson. It was a good stop by the goalkeeper O'Hanlon to deny him, but poor initially for Wessex to gift the chance to Manchester.
Really forcing that pass, aren't they? Not playing with any sort of control, any sort of composure. Manchester will pick them off all day long.
Edge. Didn't need a second invitation to shoot there, Jordan Edge, but
the anguish on his face as well. He knows that situation, disappointed in himself. Good opportunity that. 10 metres from goal, dead central. Must hit the target. Matthews still, other than half-time, not been off court, I don't think. Shows his importance to them.
Yeah, integral to the Wessex side, but they'll become more and more tired as the game goes on if he's to continue playing as many minutes as he has so far. Wessex coming forward, but again not finding that final ball. Edge. Barnes towards the back post. And it just evaded the run of Jake Barnes, who wasn't far away from that at all.
Yeah, he knows he should get there as well. I think really powerful running from Jordan Edge, direct. Finds that ball, and Barnes just not quite there quick enough, was he? Working his way into the right area. Chance goes begging.
Jenkins sends that one long, but it's too high.
Just a little bit void of ideas, aren't they, when they do have any sort of sustained possession.
Tozer. Cross-court pass from left to right to Araujo, then Tozer not quite on the same page as Araujo was, and New won it back for Wessex. Good defending that time from Jordan Edge to shield the ball away.
It's very simple that for them to play through, and it's a dangerous situation.
Tozer with the effort on goal, but off target again. But as you say, Matt, all too easy from a Wessex perspective for Manchester to create the chances.
Yeah, really easy. Got to be much better than that. It's defensively, work Manchester harder, make it more difficult for them to play through those lines. Wessex taking their time over this one, just perhaps trying to get that breather.
It's a decent delivery, but then the strike was destined for the corner of the hole, never mind the goal, but then the deflection made things interesting.
Yeah, Jenkins nearly directed it goalwards, didn't he? Wouldn't have known much about it, but I tell you what, he'd have taken it. The situation they find themselves in so far this season and so far in this game. Manchester firmly in control now. That's really easy, isn't it? Just to work around that middle twice.
Here again, Thompson back into Araujo. Brilliant Manchester move and brilliant Manchester goal. 4 minutes gone in the second half, and that's 4-0.
Twice in that move, Manchester found themselves in the middle of the court, completely free, and Oriol Araujo was able to just slam it home after really good movement. He was at the heart of it. He started the move, and then as Scott Thompson pulls it back, he's on hand to finish it. Fantastic goal. Manchester get their fourth, and they're firmly in control of this one.
Last-ditch slide from Terry New back there for Wessex, but wasn't able to prevent what turned out to be a beautiful goal. Here's New in a much more attacking position, but dispossessed by the latest scorer. Araujo won the ball back there, and subsequent phase of play ends with the ball being put out for the Manchester kicking.
Manchester do that so well, what we saw them do on that last goal, where they get in behind the first line of defence really well, and it's a disguised pass. They find that space, and then once you're in, it's 3v2s every time.
Lofty pass forward there to Thompson on the turn into the penalty area, but News there for Wessex. Back to New. Edge has it again though for Manchester. Araujo back for Stapleton as Manchester assert themselves even more control on the game. Tozer back for Scott Thompson. Just never got the shot away. Back post though, and there's Stapleton unmarked at the second post to tap in. 5-0.
What Scott Thompson did really well, as you say, Isaac, didn't get his shot away. He just didn't panic. He stayed composed. He reset the move, and Edge was able to find that pass to the second post. And Danny Stapleton this time is there just to tap it home. Really clever from Thompson though. And just like that, this one now is racing away from Wessex, isn't it? And starting to get a little bit ugly.
Yeah, threatening now to be a long afternoon for Wessex. Jordan Edge with 2 goals so far today, but that time turning the provider of the assist for Danny Stapleton's tap-in. Pressure there on Thompson, but comfortable enough to play it out to Bow.
Everything Wessex are trying to do is just a touch too slow, and Kai Bone thought about it then. The loose pass from Charlie Budd lands in his opposite number's hands, and they're in again. It's good defending. Aaron Reid had to make sure, had to get that right.
Yeah, Reid got round well on the cover there to sweep up the ever-present Manchester danger on that occasion. Wessex's biggest defeat of the season so far was an 11-3 loss to Loughborough on match day 1, as Manchester come close again there through Stapleton with a rocket of a strike, but didn't reach the target.
It's been a real tough start to life in Tier 1, hasn't it, for Wessex? It's a great club. Jeff Bonner doing a hell of a lot of good work down on the south coast, but just not quite working for them in terms of their first team squad at this moment in time.
Stapleton's forward pass, direct from that kick-in, but again shielded out well by Reed in the fixed roll. Barnes, Stapleton, again it's a 2v1 for Manchester. Stapleton took the opportunity on himself.
Another good save from O'Hanlon. You have to say, without him, this one would have been over a long time before it was over, and it'd be really ugly now for his team. Manchester will feel this should already be double figures.
Yeah, well, they've certainly had the opportunities. 5 goals up, they'll be more than content with that, but on another day they could have scored more, the side in blue, and they've still got time, of course, left to do that and add to the scoreboard. Referee just moving back the Wessex defenders. Richardson faked to play that to Araujo, instead it went across to Stapleton. Bundled away, but only as far as Richardson, then off target on the follow-up strike. Long lofty pass forward, looking there for the run of Guaibaridas. Bone again choosing to go short. Barnes under a bit of pressure though, as Wessex become more adventurous and step higher onto them. That's Paul that time to give the ball away. Is this a goal back for Wessex? It's not. It's a great piece of defending actually from the player coach Richardson.
Player, coach, captain, last line of defence.
Yeah, superb sliding to put his body on the line there for his side, and he'll be happy, you imagine, with the state that they find themselves in the game. It's been a professional display from them so far.
I think they'll be really happy after the start of the season with the way that the state of their position in the league as well now. Tough one on the opening day. Since that, really regrouped, obviously beaten in the league final as well last year. Disappointing end to what was a very good season for them. And they'll feel that they can go and do that again, and will want to try and go one step better. A lot of quality in this squad, a lot of players that have played together for a long time, as we touched on earlier. Added Araujo, that's poor.
Loose pass there though, it's given the opportunity for Wessex to look to pounce upon, and there they do have a goal back. It's turned in at the back post. 5-1.
Not sure if Ramsey gets the last touch on this, or whether it's Raul Redalescu sliding in. It is the Wessex player, and it's a sloppy pass from Jake Barnes, isn't it? Wessex will take it.
Yeah, Harris Bouzida it was at the back post with the final touch. The goal scorer for Wessex. Might prove to only be a consolation, but they'll be happy to be on the scoreboard.
I think that's important to them as well. And there you hear the lift it's given them straight away. Another poor pass from Manchester is cheered. He'll be disappointed with himself with that pass. something you say all the time to players. He's played to a teammate's strong side, away from the defender, makes it easier for them to control even under pressure.
Reed back to the goalkeeper when he can't go back to the goalkeeper, and that'll be an indirect free kick.
And Manchester then look to set up here. Stapleton coming on, no surprise. Don't want to be in a wall with him over this, would you? Obviously indirect, so they'll look to move that ball. But I would imagine it will be a setback potentially for Danny Stapleton to strike.
Yeah, well, Manchester scored from an indirect free kick from pretty much the exact same position against York, and it was that same move this time, though. Stapleton blazing high and wide.
Yeah, looking for that sort of top of the goal, wasn't he? Just above players' heads. Just got a little bit too much on it. You see here, real clever back heel. Referee's given the corner, not sure where from. Manchester will take it, won't they?
Yeah, strange one. Yeah, Wessex come on the counter-attack. It breaks through as well, and there's another goal for Wessex. It's Matthews. And now, just 3 goals in it.
Yeah, game on. We said, I've spoken all the way through, haven't we, about his threat and the danger he possesses. He brings to the table, and they break in here. And it's a fantastic sort of 3-man attack, isn't it? And as they find that pass through to Matthews, he makes no mistake at that second post. And Manchester now need to race their game because Wessex are in this.
Yeah, that's a loose touch there from Tozer as well.
And listen to the noise. Wessex bench and their supporters. And they do travel in numbers considering the distance. Right behind their team and realising that they're right back in this now.
Definitely got their tails up now, Wessex. New plays the block, and the shot was from Matthews, looking to find a second goal in a matter of as many minutes. Tozer. How Manchester would love a goal now just to steady the ship and regain the firm foothold that they for so long had on the game.
Next goal really, really important, isn't it? That's a clever move.
Decision's gone the way of Manchester there. I think Matthews is arguing his point of view. He felt he was the player fouled.
I think he's just one of them where Paul Whateley will always give that foul coming in from the side. It's one I've seen him give before, actually, where as the player, it's that endangering your opponent kind of challenge, isn't it? Is how he will feel. Blindside of the player, not able to protect himself.
There, it'll go down as a reckless challenge, and the yellow card was there shown for that foul as well. From the free kick, block. And Wessex have the ball again. Matthews and battle with edge once more. We move into the final quarter of the game then. Manchester still 3 goals to good with the scoreline in their favour, but just feels different about it when Wessex have scored the latest 2.
It should be much, much better, shouldn't it? Manchester were firmly in control. A couple of lapses of concentration, and suddenly Wessex right back in this one. Got a little bit built up a little bit of steam as well, and in the ascendancy and believing. Probably for the first time since the start of the first game of this season, they believe that they can get back into this one.
Goalkeeper retreating back now, allows for the shot from Matthews. Bowen with the glance towards goal, but as I said, the goalkeeper did go back to the more regular position.
And again here,
Matthews, this is another opportunity, but just overruns the ball there.
poor decision, tried to go on his own.
Transitional attack moment for Manchester. It's Araujo. Calm in front of goal, and Uriel Araujo completes his brace in the game.
And in the end, Jordan Matthews has a mistake. He's firmly punished. It's a fantastic breakaway from Manchester, isn't it? That'll settle the nerves. Harry Tozer does really well to find Araujo. And edge of the D, dead central. He was never missing that one. That should settle things. That should settle Manchester back down. That's 6-2 with 9 minutes left. That should, and I say should, because we've seen stranger things happen. That should be game over.
Yeah, well, we said that the next goal could prove to be crucial and was going to be important. It went the way of Manchester. Here's New finding a bit of space on the right. Completely skewed the, I think was meant as a diagonal towards the second post there, though.
He snatched at it, didn't he? Got to play with more composure there. Had 10 metres of space. Drive into that space, find that pass in. Real poor execution on the pass. It's those fine margins, isn't it? At this level, how many times do you see those kind of passes find their way to their target?
That's nice again from Manchester, and it's played intricately through the legs of Matthews towards Thompson again, lurking around the same area.
Yeah, he should score. He knows it as well. Really good move, but there's the difference. The same sort of area. Harry Tozer's finding that pass across goal. Scott Thompson knows he should be making contact there, and that should be 7-2.
Fizzed in, wasn't it, the ball across, but Thompson again just inches away from making contact. New went sliding in well that time to offload possession to George Ramsey, wide left, but then he's dispossessed. New has it back though here for Wessex in a bundle by the corner. Direct pass forward to Tozer. Tozer with an option to the left, it's Thompson! And he's denied by the keeper.
Yeah, good save, O'Hanlon, covering ground quickly and closing down. Unorthodox maybe, almost sliding forwards. It's another good opportunity though for Manchester.
All straight through the middle of the defensive setup there, and a chance that wasn't taken full advantage of.
They caught Jordan Matthews trying to cheat, didn't they? Trying to step out quickly. Found that gap in between the sort of top of that Y shape. And in the end, Harry Tozer just couldn't get it out of his feet.
Thompson. Edge with the final touch on that. Just the one foul so far in the second half, so no real concern in that regard, not yet anyway. Another loose pass there as it's into touch on the near side.
And I think they're the ones that they really need to cut out, aren't they? Just a little bit more quality in those sorts of areas.
Barnes took that one nicely in his stride.
Good defending from Reed, really good defending again. Referee not happy with the reaction, I think, there after that decision.
Oh, it bundles through, and Barnes was lurking around as well as Thompson again.
That one almost nearly, strange deflection almost, but it nearly comes over the top of Ben O'Hanlon, doesn't it? It's really well to adjust, actually.
Yeah, and another day Manchester could, well, already be into double figures at this stage. I'm sure you could make quite the compilation of saves from the goalkeeper O'Hanlon as well. Wessex here looking to try to bring it back to 3 goals behind, and not able to do so as the interception was made on that pass. Barnes, really nice to drive forward and then play the pass to Thompson. It's another stop.
Another good breakaway, moving forwards at pace, with power, with intent. Fortunately for Wessex, their goalkeeper again, he's on hand.
Thompson. Header away, but Thompson will see that one out for the Manchester kick-in. Referee Will Thompson indicating exactly where that kicking should be taken from there.
Good memory.
Barnes. Araujo, nice parallel pass. Richardson just cut it behind where the Manchester teammate in the form of Thompson was.
Wessex timeout. Yeah, really clever move that, wasn't it? Araujo. Textbook parallel pass down the line, and in the end it was that cutback that just didn't quite meet its intended target. Wessex probably right to call the timeout here. Just lost their way again after a really good spell. Manchester back on top, back in the ascendancy. And the message from Jeff Bonner will be quite simple. Can we go and get a goal? Can we go and get 2? Can we make things more difficult for Manchester? Just need that little bit more quality, don't they? In key moments in games, both in possession and out of it. Just to make sure that they stay in this one. So Manchester will make sure we don't drop off, we don't have a spell like we had where we conceded goals before. In this game, they will know if they can do that, is won.
Yeah, Wessex will look to go back out there and affect the game positively. Okay, they might not be able to bring it back to level terms. 4 goals is a huge ask now against the side of the quality of Manchester and given what's gone before, but can they give themselves something to build on into the weeks ahead as well?
It's tough, isn't it? Similar to how many times did we say it with Kent last year when they found themselves in this position. It's finding anything you can go forwards with. Ultimately, it's a tough environment to learn. And for many of their players, it will be the first time playing at this level.
Araujo as Manchester
It's a clever pass.
are in no mood for sympathy. Yeah, good pass down the line to Thompson. Barnes. Still going, Barnes! Brilliant finish. Great footwork to create himself the shooting opportunity, and he made no mistake with it at all.
He's proving a real find for Manchester. Scoring goals week in, week out, and he wriggles free of a couple of players here. And then it's a brilliant strike low into the bottom corner of O'Hanlon's goal. Jake Barnes, another one off that conveyor belt for them. They've got themselves in a mess here, Wessex.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation for them. There might be another goal here for Manchester as the advantage is played. The fly goalkeeper's back there defending on the line.
So I think here there'll be the advantage, and then there'll be another free kick.
Yeah, there should be. Not like there'll be two fouls that should be added with the previous advantage that was definitely signalled for by the referee Paul Waitley on the far side, and the yellow cards out of his pocket again.
I think he's just going back now and signalling for that third foul. There we go.
Yeah, Max Jenkins goes into the referee's notebook.
Danny Stapleton will be the target.
Stapleton is indeed, and it's scuffed somewhat, but it won't matter because it's trickled its way in. Stapleton back amongst the goals for Manchester. He won't care how they come via the deflection. Off Jenkins there to take it past the keeper. 8-2.
Yeah, really well worked set piece, isn't it? So often we see Manchester open up that almost reverse passing line to find that shot on the other side of the court. Danny Stapleton takes full advantage of it.
Barnes goes on there and managed to get the shot in whilst Matthews was still in goal for Wessex. It's all or nothing now for them, really, and Wessex giving it everything they've got, but they'll keep fighting till the end. Wessex, they always do that and play the game in good spirit. Here is the fly goalkeeper Matthews. Oh, and that's a fine fingertip stop from Bone.
Really good save. Great determination from Jordan Matthews to keep that move alive. That's a fantastic save from Kai Bone, isn't it? He struck that really well. I think they're just asking for referees just to have a word maybe with Danny Stapleton about that one there. Foul has gone on.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a form of regular fly goalkeeper from the Wessex side, but almost playing 5v4 as they would usually treat 4v4 there with the extra player. Worked the chance for them. Tozer lofts the pass forward, and this is Stapleton with Richardson to his left, and Richardson lunging to desperately try to divert it in and get in on the goal scoring act, but not for him then.
Just stretching, wasn't he? Couldn't quite control his movement, what he wanted to do. It's fantastic again from Manchester, isn't it? Cutting Wessex apart.
And Manchester coming forward again there through a combination of Barnes and Tozer in search of more. We've already seen 10 goals in the game, and Manchester have scored 8 of them. Tozer with the kick in, but couldn't feed it through. Richardson back to Harry Tozer, and Richardson again, those two exchanging passes. Stapleton, nice one-touch passing, which then created the space in front of the Wessex defence for the strike. That's deflected behind.
It's really good, isn't it? When they've moved the ball sharply, when they've moved the ball well, they've looked excellent, Manchester. It's another good example of it.
Stapleton blazes that one high.
He just couldn't keep that one down, could he? Another well-worked set piece, though.
Stapleton nips in to win the ball back, and Stapleton with Richardson to his left, desperate to complete his hat-trick there, Danny Stapleton, I think.
And I think here, once he wins it, he powers through. He's gone for power and lost a little bit of accuracy, hasn't he? Trying to be emphatic. Perhaps should have just guided it home. It's a good game though, really good game.
As have so many of this Manchester squad, and that's ultimately what's proved to be too hot to handle for Wessex. Here Manchester come forward once more. That pass though there overcooked by Tozer. New. McGarrell. Back to Tom McGarrell with the number 5 on his back for Wessex.
First time we've seen him on court in the game. Another young player trying to give minutes to. You have to give them credit, don't you? Not lost sight of what they want to do. Very, very easy for a club in this position to go and try and recruit.
The net's empty momentarily here if Manchester want to go and take advantage, but Bud's back there now. Happy to just control the game again and dictate play once more. Down the line it goes to Richardson, back for Edge to try to make something of that.
Giving it away again here.
Stapleton again went for all the force behind it and power, but again the same outcome.
Desperate for that third goal.
Well, he might get it here, and it's a bit of a gift back to him.
It's 3 or 4 now. Wessex seem as desperate as Danny Stapleton for him to complete his hat-trick. Keep giving him that ball back.
Corner for Manchester as the cavalry arrive. Tozer played away by New. And again there, Terry New. McGarrell. There's a nice pass forward there, McGarrell, and this is a chance, and it's a goal. And Wessex do have another back. It's Jordan Matthews with his second of the game. Late on, it'll be a consolation, but a good finish.
It's a really good finish. And once he's found himself in those sorts of areas, Matthews, he has finished well, hasn't he? It's getting him there that's proving the problem for them at the moment. Having to play too much of his game very deep in the court.
An assist as well there for Tom McGarrell, the youngster providing the pass. Pinpoint through to Matthews.
Really good pass as well, wasn't it? They're going to... We spoke earlier, didn't we, about taking positives from this, and that has to be the positives, that when they have created chances, they've looked sharp and they've been bright. And then the other thing is that they know they've got a good goalkeeper who they can rely on at the other end. Just need to try and prevent him doing so much work. Another good chance here.
Still an opportunity there for Wessex, and Bone's done well.
He has done really well. Just for a second, I thought he was going to open up.
Matthews again with space to shoot. Here's Edge. Scored the game's opener, which seems like a whole long time ago now. Tozer.
Good ball, really good
Cross
ball.
to Thompson, nice cutting pass to him, and that's a super finish. Cannons the ball right into the top corner. Splendid goal.
Yeah, goal of the game, isn't it, that one? Right to left, left to right. Manchester finding lots and lots of room. But the pass out from Uriel Araujo to Scott Thompson is fabulous. And then as he comes back inside, he has one thing on his mind, and he finds the postage stamp to the top left past Ben O'Hanlon. Makes it 9 for Manchester, restores a 6-goal lead with a minute to go. They're in a really, really good position.
Yeah, so many goals in this second half now. Just a reminder, it was only 3-0 at half-time to Manchester. They've really kicked on since then, and Wessex have managed to find the 3 goals that at half-time they'd been looking for, but in doing so they've conceded a further 6 in the second half.
What a strike that is.
Pinpoint accuracy into the top corner. Wessex still come forward themselves. It's cut across into a dangerous area, but no one there. It's out of play.
Tell you what, Bazida, he'll feel he should be on the end of that. I'm sure he will. Already got himself a goal. Could have got himself another one.
Edge. Oh, it's a loose pass from Edge, and he's given the ball away to New. Was that handball on the line? It looked it. And well, he could be in trouble here because that's a handball in a area which has denied the goal.
Let's take another look at it. Kai Bone overcommits, doesn't he? Yeah, definitely handball.
It's handball, and
What decision's the referee going to make here? Yeah, looks like he sent Jordan Edge off.
yeah, the red card has been shown to Jordan Edge. It's the right decision, despite the scoreline and the state of the game. Only one decision really that was left as an option for the referee. Red card. Jordan Edge is dismissed. That'll put a little bit of a dampener on what otherwise has been a great day for Manchester.
It will, yeah. 35 seconds left. Did he have to do it? Was it instinctive? I don't know. Left the referee with no choice, really, did he, when he's back covering the goal?
Matthews then to complete his hat-trick, and he does. Bone went the wrong way, and that's 9-4.
Penalty, really good penalty, strikes it well.
Out of play on the near side gives me an opportunity, Matt, to ask you who's been the star performer, the standout and player of the match.
Yeah, for me, number of good performances on both teams, actually. Wessex have more than played their part in this one. I think my man of the match for individual quality, a couple of good goals, a pass like we saw for that very last goal for Manchester from Scott Thompson has to be Oriol Araujo. Spoke about his importance.
They've got another opportunity here, Manchester. It was those two that you mentioned there, Matt, linking up.
But Araujo is, just for his quality, he's been a really good signing for Manchester. Added something different to them.
Yeah, super player. He's the player of the match in this one with 13 goals scored. There's a chance to add another. We saw them come close to adding one at the end of the first half. Not quite as close there, Manchester, but overall it's been a great day for them. The red card at the end for Jordan Edge will be of concern as he'll have to serve suspension moving forwards. But a big 3 points for them to take back home, and another difficult day at the office for Wessex. They remain rooted to the bottom of the table. The final score, it finishes Manchester 9, Wessex 4. Let's have a look at the goals from the second half.
There's a lot of them.
Certainly was a lot of them. There was the first then in the second period with Araujo finishing that nice move off. Danny Stapleton with a simple finish at the back post.
Yeah, and what they did really well in moves is keep them alive. Even when things weren't quite going for them, they were happy to recycle, as we see with that one there from Scott Thompson. Happy to set it back for Jordan Edge to find Danny Stapleton at the second post. This is that pass there from Barnes, got to be on Sam Richards' strong side. This is where Wessex just started to rally, didn't they? And Beredas finds Bazida.
Yeah, we'll see them score another goal in the second as well. They had a period in the game, didn't they, Wessex, when they just put their foot on the gas a little and felt for a period of 5 minutes or so that they might be able to try to get themselves back into it. Didn't end up like that.
Began to believe, didn't they? Another mistake from Barnes there. Was picked off. And Jordan Matthews helped himself to the first of his 3 goals. It's a really good finish this. Out of his feet. Guides it past Kai Bone. And at this stage, they knew that was 5-2, wasn't it? The next goal could have been important, as it was. It was Manchester flooding forward, 3v2. And Araujo, as he's proving to be so many times, so important for them in key moments in games. Lovely finish. Left Charlie Budd with no chance.
Yeah, this was a great goal as well from Barnes.
Yeah, individual quality, strong, wriggles away. So here you thought the move had gone. He came in quickly, moved, won the ball, went past another 2, then found the bottom corner. And it's almost a customary Jake Barnes goal now this season. He'll have been pleased with that after making a couple of mistakes. This Danny Stapleton, see him score those all the time, don't we?
Customary nowadays for him, isn't it?
Yeah, really good set piece. Great movement from Scott Thompson. Well weighted from Sam Richardson, and Stapleton won't mind the deflection. He'll take it, won't he? And this is where the game really got away from Wessex. They still had their moments though, and again it was that man Matthews finds himself sort of 10 metres from goal, able to slam a ball home. Really good finish again. Kai Bone, no chance. And largely a passenger at times in the second half. He ended up picking the ball out of his net 4 times.
Yeah, stood no chance with the goals that flew past him, Kai Bone, but as you say, wasn't particularly involved apart from those moments. It was another for Manchester, and what a finish that is.
Yeah, really, really good finish. Great pass out to him as well from Araujo. This one completely cuts 4 players out the game. Wessex are desperately recovering. Scott Thompson comes inside, he just smashes it into the roof of the goal. No keeper saving that. And then obviously the one moment that Manchester won't be pleased with is the sending off for Jordan Edge, which allowed Jordan Matthews the chance to complete his hat-trick from the spot. He took advantage of it.
Yeah, there was the game's final goal, and that brings to a conclusion the coverage of this one. It finishes Manchester 9, Wessex 4. Let's quickly take a look at the league table then. Big 3 points for Manchester as they try to go in search of that top spot. Bloomsbury will hold on to that, at least for the time being. But for Wessex, it's difficult down there at the bottom.
It is, yeah, and very quickly finding themselves adrift, aren't they? 3 points to York, 4 points to Bolton, who we're going to see on court next. It could end up being a really damaging day for them, couldn't it, if results go against them in this last one. For Manchester, great win. Keeps that pressure on Bloomsbury, keeps them a point behind. And after a disappointing opening day, they've really rallied well and found some form.
Yeah, 3 games played already today then. Those are the results from them. Bloomsbury storming to a 7-0 victory over London Helvetia in the game that was shown live on BT Sport 1 earlier on. And then a 5-4 win for Hartbury, surviving a late scare up against York. And the game we've just seen, Manchester 9, Wessex 4. But we still have one more to bring to you. And at 4:30, we'll have kick-off of Loughborough Students and Bolton.